What if I told you there was a way to make a product that made easy, repeatable sales using nothing more than the scraps that you've got lying around your workshop and a couple of basic tools? If that sounds interesting, I'm going to walk you through this 10-minute beginner project that I can't sell enough of. I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, the extremely minimal cost that there is, and the sales technique that is going to lead you to getting repeat customers over and over again. And if that wasn't enough, I'm also going to show you a little trick that I use with a sheet of cardboard that means that you have 100% accuracy every single time. Now what I love here is the simplicity of the tools that you're going to use. You can do this with just a drill and a sander, a hole cutter. Now I've got 68mm or 2 and 11/16 for you weirdos that still use metric, and a couple of Forstner bits. I'm going in at about 42mm and the other one's at 25. If you happen to have a drill press like I have here, this will make it a little bit easier, but it is so simple to do with just the basic level tools. So for your stock, you want to be coming in somewhere around 15 to 20mm. I think that's about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. That is just fine. What you don't want to be doing though is coming in too thin. You need some depth in this, otherwise when you start the drilling, it's going to be too flimsy and too small. So the first part of this project is dead easy. Get some double-sided sticky tape and stick your small piece of scrap down onto a bigger piece of scrap. This way you'll be able to clamp this on to wherever you want, or if you're freehanding it, it'll give you a little something else to hold on to. We're going to start out with the 42mm Forstner bit. This needs to go down about 1mm to 2mm, and for Imperial I think the technical term would be a smidgen. And once we've finished with the 42mm bit, we're going to swap out straight away for this 25mm bit, leaving our workpiece where it is and allowing us to go down into that same hole but at a thinner diameter. We need to go down about 10mm or 1cm. This will give us enough clearance for what we need. Following the two Forstner bits, we're going to change to the hole cutting bit. This is a little bit more tricky because you've got to go the full depth, and this is where your second piece of scrap comes into its own. This stops you going through and ruining any workbench underneath. Now I always have this problem with the hole cutter. I always get my piece wedged in, but I find that my wife's best kitchen scissors do the job great. I just hope she never catches me. And with the bulk of the cutting now done, we're going on to putting in a little bit of hardware. Now I got these online in a multi-pack. I think they've worked out around 40 pence each. That's 50 cents to you Americans. And to put these in, it's quite simple. Offer it up to the piece and you want to use a bradawl or other sharp pointed thing. This is great. This one was given to me by another maker, Glenn, over at Number One Projects. I'll leave his details below so you can check him out. Once we've got our point in place, it's simply to put a small drill hole. You're not looking to go the full depth of the screw. You just want to break that surface so it's easier to screw in later on. Now I want to knock the edges off of my circle because I don't like it being too sharp. You could use the router table, but I promised you an easy, simple build. So for mine, I'm going to use the sander, first of all to sand all the sides flat, but then just to round over that edge, put a slight chamfer on it. That way it's going to feel nice and smooth in the hand with nothing digging into your palm. We're coming on to add the hardware, but before we do that, I'm going to use the giraffe hoover to clear out and make sure that I've got a dust-free environment first. It's the little things that always make a difference. And with some basic prep done, I'm going to mount the cylinder onto my painter's triangles before going in with 2 coats of clay lacquer. This stuff I picked up at the Lidl supermarket the other week, my first visit as a woodworker, and boy was I impressed. Now here's where I did struggle on this build, not because it's technical. This hardware came with its own screws and screwdriver. A good little touch I thought, until I realised just how fiddly this little screwdriver was. I mean, look at it. It's made for a child, not for a proper adult woodworker. Well, an adult anyway. The jury's still out if I'm a woodworker or not. After fighting with the screws for a little bit longer, it was time to denib. I love these 600 grit sand sponges. They're absolutely fantastic for these little jobs. And there you go, in less than 5 minutes, you have got a functioning bottle opener that you can sell for £4, maybe £5 in your local area. But before we go any further, best make sure it works. Looking good so far. Proof is always in the pudding. Success! Cheers! But what if there were a way to get even more money out of this for just a touch more effort? And that little bit more effort could be the reason why you get increased and repeated sales. So if anyone remembers the 100% piece of cardboard, this is where it comes in to guarantee accuracy every time. Simply use it as a guide for where to put your products when you're lasering stuff on. If you don't have a laser, don't worry. Like I say in all my videos, I used to use stencils, crayons, markers, and a little bit of gloss over the top to make sure that it didn't rub off. You'll be amazed at what you can do to increase the value of the products that you sell. For me, I'm using my Omtec Laser. This thing is an absolute beast. Now, before I get onto the final reveal, I did tell you how I was going to use these as a sales pitch. Every time somebody orders a chopping board, a charcuterie board, any sort of garden product or anything from me, I'm providing one of these free of charge. If it's to a business, I'm putting their logo on one side and my details on the other. That way they've got something that's always at hand that they can look at whenever they want something else. They know who to call. This doubles up. This just isn't free advertising. There is actually a strategy behind this. And I'm going to ask you to think of a company that we'll all have known. And that company is called Five Guys. If you ever go to Five Guys, not only do they do a great burger and chips, but if you order something to take out, you instantly get an extra portion of fries thrown in the bottom of the bag like it's an accident. What human psychology tells us there is that the brain disproportionately values those fries that it got for free and didn't ask for over anything else, meaning that no matter how your meal is, you come away with a positive outlook on what you had because you've got something for free and in essence got one over on the company. It's kind of the same here. I want people to be thinking of me and not thinking about the price that they've paid, but the fact that they got something that they didn't ask for, often with their logo on. Like I say, if it's a company, it'll have their details on. If I've done a board for a family, it'll just have their surname on. Nice and simple, nice and quick. The round bottle openers are costing me around 40 pence each. The metal ones that I'm going to show you in the final reveal, that cost me around about 80 pence. And that's a damn sight easier than the round ones that are cheaper. Just something for you to think about next time you're making a sale. Can you make that customer disproportionately value you and your work by giving them something that's worth 40 pence?